Chris and I out here working on the 5.3. We turn the exhaust forward and need some light, don't we? He welded the flanges on for me. We're in.
Throw me under the bus like that.
We're in the starter and ground wires over here. I bought this. The oil pan said to buy an LS3 dipstick. Just so y'all know, those do not work. With a truck manifold facing forward. The truck dipstick works just fine. You just have to cut some off of it, off the end of the dipstick itself, and remark your full line, which wasn't a big deal. But the other dipstick did come in handy for referencing that. But we put the plugs in. They're BR6EFs. We put the spark plug wires in. They're just some 8mm performance wires. Put the radiator in just for giggles, and we just put the radiator hoses on. And that's the radiator from the LT1. And those are radiator hoses from a 99 through 02 F-body, 4th gen. What else did we do? Was that it?
Ran a ground wire and
starter wire, plugs, plug wires, exhaust. Now I'm gonna buy one of them eBay kits, 2.5 inch, and just run the exhaust out the front fender on both sides for now, till we can save up for a turbo. And we're gonna spray the Proton kit. Luckily, my intake, the whole thing, I mean, it fits on there perfect. Even the round piece that went around the LT1, it fits right on there. So I'll be able to use that intake and the nitrous setup I had for that. Where I'm going to put the Proton thing is beyond me. But really, the only thing left to do is to repin some stuff on the wiring and hook the wires up and see if it starts. It's got oil in it. Put the oil and the oil filter on. It don't have coolant in it yet. We'll do that last. I'd like to get it started up before we put coolant in it. But the starter's down there. It's bolted up, or the hot wire is bolted to it. But we didn't put it in yet because it's hard to get to the crank sensor with the starter in to plug it in. So I need to get the harness done before I throw that all up in there. But it just needs the trigger wire and pushed up in there and bolted in. And then run the wiring harness and see if it starts. But I got a few things on there that I need to repin just in the shock tower harness. That's all I have left. And I did make a video on that, but I'm not going to post that video until I make sure what I did works. Because I really don't know what I was doing. But I was just looking at a lot of diagrams and doing a lot of research and reading. But if it works, then I'll definitely post that. But now, I'm not using the automatic transmission or the manual transmission. I've got a Turbo 400, so it's a little bit more involved, but pretty much the same idea with doing the pins for that and stuff like that. So I won't be covering that part because mine don't use that stuff. But yeah, that's the progress on the 5.3. Chris has to go home tomorrow. That sucks. But we got a lot done on both the cars. I think all we need to run a 9 in the Trans Am is lower DA. I think the 32 to 3700 DA is just too much for it. But yeah, guys, just wanted to give an update on where we're at on the LT1 Camaro to 5.3 LS swap. It's got a turbo cam in it. It's all set up for turbo, except for the lines that run from the fuel rail to the tank. Those have to be addressed. And then just doing the hot side and getting a turbo and a wastegate and a blow-off valve, and then running an intercooler. But we're going to run it on motor with the turbo cam with some nitrous for now until we can save up for all that. But it's just a 5.3 that I went back through, re-ringed, put new bearings in, and that's it. Put springs and a cam in it. Retainers, locks, seals, but yeah, that's it. Alright guys, I got the harness in. It's just in there for now. I made it real pretty where it goes under the starter, and then I made it real pretty where it comes out here. I do have a very, very small leak in the back of that fuel rail. I had a real bad one over there where the line comes in, and I had to go buy another. I bought new retainer clips, but that didn't work. This thing right here. Bought new retainer clips and put a new retainer clip in there. Man, those are hard to get in. It still wouldn't stay on there. I mean, it was leaking bad. Bad. So I went and bought one of those at Advance. Stuck it on there and it works good. I set the pressure at 50 and tighten the nut. And there's the return line. But it does leak right there. I need to pretty up and wire loom these wires right here. Plus I need to put the alternator wire on. It's just hanging out right there, but everything else is hooked up. Well, the intake air temperature gauge is just chilling out up here, but that's fine. But yeah, the only thing that I did wrong on the wire harness was I believe it's in my video. I correct it in the video for the wire harness, but I didn't want to post the video of the wire harness till I got this working. But this one right here, I had going under the dash to the white connector, pin E, I think it was. And that pin was only giving 5 volts. So it wouldn't even kick the fuel pump on. So I manually primed the fuel pump with this. With this thing right here, I left in off the LT1 harness. And it kicked on, so that told me there was something wrong. So instead I ran it up to this. One of these is a 10 pin connector and one's an 8 pin. So I ran it up to this one. I believe that's G. And the starter was dragging real bad. It didn't want to start. So I added this. I put this back on. This is the ground wire. It runs to the frame. And it started right up. It sounds pretty good, if I have to say so myself. See what it sounds like. It needs some tuning. It needs some tuning adjustments, no doubt, but it starts. Alright, so fix that fuel leak and put some exhaust on it and wire up the alternator and tape all this up and wire loom it and tape all that up and wire loom it, put the computer back in and put a tune in it. That's pretty much it. Woot woot. It don't stay running. The tune is way off. I've already pulled the tune and looked at it. It's way off. I'm surprised it starts the car. But kind of spent all my money on exhaust stuff and stuff like that, so I don't have money for credits right now. But I have already pulled the tune and started looking at it, and I've already started adjusting it. And another thing I'm going to do is the main starter wire. I'm going to put that metal tape over it too. And put a catch can on, and got to put antifreeze in, and put a belt on. That's it. Yeah. Y'all like and subscribe. Have a good day.